I'm gonna have fun with this.
You really think you're winning? You guys are fascinating, man. Absolutely fascinating. Burgess, I agree. Christ is the truth. Christ is the new perfection. Here, DeFreak, welcome to you. Whoops, wrong one. DeFreak, welcome to you.
It's me. Hey, I'm okay. Yeah, I was gonna show you this clip that you had up there. Basically about a Twitterer who kind of got some attention from the president. So I'm just gonna play it real quick.
Please.
For violence on your YouTube channel, and your YouTube channel would make you money. No one saw this one coming at all, actually. Now, while the leftoid influencers are having a terrible day, the rightoid influencers are having a fantastic day. So this TikToker made a video and said, please, Donald Trump, you need to hear this. And Donald Trump actually reposted it.
If you stay to watch the video, please tag him down below, share, and repost so we can try to get this to him as quickly as possible and hope that he can do something with this. President Trump, as a supporter who voted for you 3 times, I am hoping and praying that you will revisit what Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of back in 2013, which is the Smith-Mundt Act, which held news corporations accountable for lying to the American people and spreading propaganda.
I just want to say something just from like a complete moral level, forget legality for just a second. The fact that our tax dollars are literally going to these gigantic global homo organizations that tell us news, and they tell us news with a specific bias and slant and lie to us, is diabolical. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane that I pay taxes and my tax dollar and try to manipulate me. Ukraine war and then buying oil from Russia. All right? Our slave needs to be had.
Instead of truth. I think instead of bringing it back as a Smith-Mundt Act, you name it the Charlie Kirk Act. You make it a law. And you
I agree. Charlie Kirk, advocate for free speech, named as the act forcing speech. Prove of the message. I think any people lie, as simple as that.
Public, which has brought chaos, hatred, division, and anarchy all across this country. Fines out the ass, which will damn near bankrupt their companies should they lie to the American people ever again. They can have their opinions, that's fine. They need to state that it is their opinion and that it is not a fact.
Yeah, it's true. She's so.
Yeah, I'll just stop it there, but you know, anything's possible. You know, she just made a ridiculous TikTok with the big gap in her tooth, and you know, she's talking about the Thing Act or whatever, and the media lies, and apparently, you know, boom, right? So, you know, just wanted to throw that out there for you. That's all I got.
Thank you. And that does give me, I mean, I've seen evidence of that. Anything is possible. In this day and age, especially with the technology and especially with such a wild card as Donald Trump and some of this current administration, I know if I can get some clips out there with some of the right words, and I'm actually, hopefully, I'm working towards this. I believe things are coming together. And back to what Lindsay was offering, I don't dismiss what she was saying. There's value in what she's offering. The downside is logistically, how do I get that to happen when I'm still in this same boat? Partnerships, organizations, they require other human beings.
Yeah, that's a problem, you know, because it's almost like if you want to get something done, you have to do it yourself, but then you can't do everything yourself because there's too much to do. You depend on, you know, other people, and it's just tough, man. It's a tough time that we're in right now, and you know, who knows? Who knows? Who, you know, all we could do is try and figure it out and try and stay above water. And you know, a lot of what I'm seeing, like whether you're gambling in the stock market, whether you're just trying to make it home safe from the grocery store, or you know, not getting a car wreck or road rage or something, you better know the Lord, man, because like I don't know, it's weird out there. So I had fun defending you on the OTW's channel the other day. Though that was pretty fun. So I like that.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I think you have seen me. You know, I realize some of the things I say might not be easy for people to accept, but this really is my life. I really am a man online saying the things I'm saying. I really do believe that if we unite together, wars can end. I believe that we can bring reformation into all of the corporate and political systems. I think it's all happening, right? Because that's how life works. The past is preparation for today. Today is preparation for the future. And I've had this dream of mine, this vision inside my head for a long time. And I don't know how to achieve it. I see a lot of different ways to achieve it. The reforms and bringing the information I've learned. Because again, for all the people who want to doubt Jack and go against me, let's recognize what I'm doing. I'm simply saying, hey, I've got some ideas that I believe if they were in the right hands could make a difference for everybody.
Yeah, but I've been saying, like, it's hard to fight God and prophecies that are Jesus even says, like, they have to be fulfilled. So, like, when I'm seeing all this stuff being, when I see all the convergence of things coming together, it's like, yeah, we want peace on earth, and it's a great postcard and a lovely song, but reality is, as long as there's like envy and greed and in the hearts of man, it's going to be very difficult for us to pull together and to be like a one world, like a juggernaut, striving for Mars or outer space or something. So anyway, I don't know if that makes any sense or anything, but I'm just saying that it's probably not going to be pretty the way the change comes about. It's not going to be like a kumbaya, song and dance. It's probably going to be a lot of merge and purge.
That's what's happening right now. I mean, just because we're not suffering, just because our blood isn't being shed today, doesn't mean it's not happening. And it doesn't mean the signs aren't here. Just because maybe we haven't seen the signs clearly doesn't mean they're not here. And I've seen enough signs and I've heard enough explanations. I am convinced God sent us into this world to follow the way of Jesus, to reclaim this world. And it's actually fulfillment of prophecies. That's literally what I'm talking about. If somehow we do agree, hey, no more secrets and lies, guess what? That's the fulfillment of prophecy. God's truth reigns supreme. We reclaim the world from the selfish and the cruel. The wealthy can share.
Yeah, one way or the other, they have to pay. It's just a matter of, do they want to be in control or not in control? Because you can tax them and they won't be in control, or they could like do the LLC nonprofit thing and control how that money's spent. But guess what? You can't keep it all. That's the problem for you rich people. So get over it.
Well, beyond all the titles and identifications, whether it's a nonprofit or an LLC, it's an organization. What is the purpose of that organization? What are the people working together to achieve? We've got all these corporations and businesses, they exist for profits, right? And the lower level workers, all they give a shit about is their paycheck. They don't care what the company does as long as they get paid on time based on the agreements they found. I used to live like that. But where I'm at now, the freak anybody, all of us, if we really rest and settle into the truth, the eternal truth, the greatest truth, right? God is with us all. God is that which brings forth the time that we get to share. And in the time we get to share, we get to do whatever we want to some degree. I want to change the world.
I was watching something about DC and the culture of Washington, DC, and how it's, basically in that grid there, that kind of like a 10 square mile, little patch. And it's like where I have all your federal buildings and all your federal employees, not all, but, generally there's a big, concentration right there, right? And someone was saying, if you decentralize Washington, D.C., and maybe, make other districts in other parts of the country, you don't have the, the deep state, quote unquote, all right there to, to conspire against the people and stuff. And I thought that was a pretty creative and a pretty good idea.
Hey,
and that might be one of the solutions.
Washington, D.C. isn't part of the 50 United States, Dupreek. It's part of the unholy trinity. All right? You need to up your truther documentaries and maybe not so much of the gay emo channels and maybe a little actual purging of the waistline. Jack, you got to work with me. I don't have a microphone. I don't have much of anything anymore. But, you're doing the thing, man. You're doing the thing, and it's. I watched a documentary about me and my type the other day, and it really showed me a lot about how, and I think Duck would get this. You say I'm all like harsh and cold, and I need to learn forgiveness, but it's really just my reaction to having to grind with your loop to you not listening or changing. And then I come off like that. Like, if you do start a nonprofit, you're asking what it does. We're like, that's what you got to tell us if you want people to join your nonprofit. Because a nonprofit requires a board of directors that you would be accountable to so that you're not like a scam artist just running a nonprofit.
Sure. And again, as I said, it requires participation and support of other human beings. So if that happens, I'm not worried about filing any damn paperwork. I'm going to continue my path, hoping to unite with other people that accept what I'm doing.
You don't have to nonprofit. I'm just using that setup as an example of, I don't think you've ever given a clear vision. We're not sure what you're asking us to get behind.
Wait, so he was only pretending to merge? Because that's what I came up for, is I was feeling a merge with Tom.
No, I never got the fundraiser.
Oh. So you were just doing, were you doing a voice before, like putting on the energy? You weren't actually merging?
I think before the merge. I thought that was just a Talcott mock in general to do the name, like the drawn out name.
Well, can I just say that it looked good on you? I mean, regardless of what you want to call it, right? Because there's a lot of folks around here. They're not comfortable with certain ways of practicing, right? So if you need to mock it in order to try it on, right? But then you find out that it fits you well. I mean,
no, I had a bunch of merge back ideas had I been kept in it, but I've got responsibilities and things. But did you catch Jack say something about the redistribution of wealth? How do you feel about that as a merged DNA, meta DNA person of him?
Well, that would depend on what everybody else is wanting and willing to do. I mean, we already have that going on, right? Whether you're part of it or not, it already exists. So, like imagine a world where all the slaves who were paying taxes the whole time actually got back the value they put in for people who actually need stuff. How prosperous maybe the land would be instead of sending billions to do wars around the world for central bankers. I'm just saying, I mean,
And a little bit of it falls on the slaves because There's no such thing as an IRS loophole. Like, they tight that shit up. What we think of as loopholes is just shit people know how to fill their taxes out to. And even Trump said when he was running the first time, he's like, it's every American's responsibility to pay as least taxes as they can in the legal sense of those paperworks. But when Jack just says rich people can share, I feel like if I made it to a certain bracket, he's just like, hey, fuck you. Jack, do you share?
I share everything.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I share nearly everything.
I
I'm not sure the
think you just
context of what you're referring to.
I think you just say things like that.
Well,
Jack, whenever
live
I said
honestly,
whenever I said you're doing about as much as a rando Woodstock hippie with a sign, you're just doing that still.
yeah. And Tom, you made that conclusion without really looking or asking questions or.
I've been here for the long haul, dude. What else have you done?
Doesn't matter. I've been telling you for years, dude. Your vision is off.
You've been saying things. Yes. Paul says things. I say things. Flow State says things. Machine Lies says things.
Can we get back to the topic?
Yes, please.
Oh, accountability.
Jack, what were you speaking about with the redistribute the wealth? Because I'll meet anyone with pretty much any idea as long as it's voluntary. Right? As long as you're not going to create a state, an authoritarian system, and then claim that everybody agreed they're going to force their code on all of us, this bizarre social contract everyone keeps claiming, then I'll be for pretty much anything, right? If it's voluntarily with consenting adults, right?
And I don't think the issue is paying taxes as much as, yes, how they are used. If they were used more transparently and logically, I think people would be more open to paying taxes.
Right, but the big issue with the taxes is this belief, because we could argue it, I'm not going to argue it, you've heard it from me before, right? That there is no actual obligation beyond a certain point, there's status and standing, but if somebody can't opt out of something, then that's not free and brave, right? So you can't say you're a nation or a country that's free and brave, and then have a state tell the individual what they're going to do with their supposed private property. I mean,
well, shout to Melanie Fox. I'm more free than all of you. I haven't paid taxes since lockdowns.
I do like that view, Paul. I'm just curious as to how we would implement such. So, like you mentioned, social contract, but without that, then there's the handshake, right? But where does the accountability come in? That's kind of where I'm going with it.
I'm Wesley.
I think we're already doing that on some level. You know, there's a presumed contract with the state of entities, you know, or United States Corporation, and then within that supposed macro idea are a bunch of micro contracts, right? Every day folks get up and they make agreements directly or indirectly with each other to share products and services and value, right? So the whole economy, essentially, other than that statist, authoritarian, supposed ideal for safety, operates pretty much on voluntarism, right? And free trade. I think, again, there's a lot of these ideas that are backbone ideas to America that make America great. And then the isms come in to corrupt the foundation, right?
Yes, definitely. 100%. So then, okay. So a lot of the government is run off of the back of the executive branch. Essentially, the executive branch takes the money that's supposed to be allotted to them, and then they break it up into the various programs, and they're supposed to use it appropriately. And that accountability, that particular part, the difficulty in that is that, and I mentioned this earlier, the executive branch does not want to be held accountable on the street. Like, you have to take them to the court. Otherwise, it's just complete unaccountability.
Right. There's simple sort of linchpins that are easily understood on the face of it that can be used to rebut these presumptions. So consent to the governed is one that I always go to, you know, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence. Any government or corporation derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. It's defined even by the institutions as a consent of each and every individual man or woman, not by a majority, right? 60% can't vote the other 40% out of their property and rights. So government can only be legitimate through consent, right? And that's the key sort of position to quote unquote make America great and also free, and that requires brave men, right? To sort of enforce that ideal. Oddly enough, we have to enforce voluntarism.
Yeah, that part. It's like, yeah, that's where I'm going. Like, what? So, yeah, I like the idea which you pointed out. Like, the 60 can't override the 40. So then, would the 40 basically have to accept that they're just not part of certain contract?
Well, again, even if you want to play in the legal system, everything has to be contingent upon foundational principles, right? So the spirit of the law leads to the codification. So anything that, again, goes against the general liberty, as it's put, if you want to, I don't cite the Constitution because I'm not a party to it, right? That's been ruled on at Supreme Court. But this idea of man has a right to pursue their happiness, you know, and we know all the rest of it, the bear arms. And it's essentially the spirit of the law there is man can do whatever they want to do absent a victim, right? Or causing loss, injury, or harm. So again, we're back to voluntarism, because if not, the person being charged then becomes the victim, right? So Taylor's here, he's a perfect example. If he was arrested for not harming someone else, not causing any loss, injury, or harm, I don't care what substance he was using or trading in, he did not create a victim, so he was not a criminal, right? And he definitely does not deserve to go to jail. He also does not deserve to lose his right to bear arms for the rest of his life because they want to call him a felon, see? So that's what the legalistic corporatist cult does, is they use words and terms to try to take people's rights and property. So now he has to give up his guns and his right to have that property, right? Because guns are property. And this is all going to be done in the name of safety, right? And again, this is dereliction of duty, because their first duty ruled on at Supreme Court is to uphold every man and woman's rights. They don't have a duty and obligation to keep us safe, especially a duty and obligation to keep us safe that is prioritized over upholding our rights, right? Because we know where that goes. So everything has to, you know, go back to, this is what supremacy clause is about. Everything has to go back to the foundational principles in order to be legitimized. If it's not, then we're free to ignore it, right? The Constitution spells that out as well. Anything that is not pursuant to the aims and the mission and the spirit of that law codified in the Constitution can be rebuked and ignored, right? And that was the whole point of giving every man and woman guns, oddly enough. Not that I'm calling for rebellion or you know, a physical resistance, but that was literally the founders philosophized, right? That they theorized, or they you know, purposefully included this idea of every man and woman has to have a gun, just to back that idea, right? That man and woman could do whatever they want to do and couldn't be told what to do with their property and rights by externalized entities, right? Private or public. So
in that
case, we just got to stand on that, right? And that's the easiest but hardest part of the whole thing, right? And that's why this has gone the way it's gone, because we've not done that.
So in that case, any time that someone votes for a quote unquote politician that advocates for restrictions on certain things like gun rights, right? Restrictions on our rights, then should it be codified that that person loses such rights and that the other people do not?
Again, it could be argued the whole idea of politics is a voluntary endeavor. Everybody keeps engaging with it and claiming that they're part of it, and, you know, writing down on paper that they're a citizen of a self-described corporation, right? That obviously has a president, vice president, treasurer. Those are corporate positions. This isn't that difficult to figure out. So,
participation.
Ultimately, spiritually, if you want to look at it that way, in a Luciferian way, they have to give you revelation of the method, and you have to choose your own fate. That's what the vampire's idea is about, right? So they can't suck your blood unless you invite them into the house, and you got to be in the dark to do it as well. So there's a lot of sort of metaphors and thematics here, but I think they apply in a sort of sensationalized way. But yeah, again, that's the simplest but most difficult thing, is withdrawing our compliance and cooperation with a system that is inherently overriding the law of the land and the spirit of the law for supposed policy and code to keep everyone safe. And we know they're not actually doing that, right? Yeah. You know, it's all a push to take everybody's autonomy and ability to choose, right? Or just the value of their work and what they've created.
Need enough people. I like that. No, you definitely are hitting the head. I've said it a long time. I said, Paul is 100% right. And I'm glad you're working with Jack, because Jack, the way that Jack is, I mean, it rubs off on people. He's very calm and cool and collected and all that stuff. So, yeah, I like it.
Well, and this is where my approach and view is a little bit different than others, because I know there's many who it's appropriate for them to disengage, and we do need people to disengage because it shows more evidence. But I want to confront these damn systems and the people who believe in the systems more than freedom, because well, our freedoms have been sold.
See, and this is what's so fascinating. Like Ben earlier in chat, he says, Paul wants a society without obligations. No, that's what we have now. That's what all the LLC corporatists make a mastery out of, how to run businesses without having liabilities. I'm proposing that we structure society based on actual obligation. See? So you have to understand what actual obligation, personal accountability, responsibility is, right? I don't have an obligation to some leftist on California who wants to cut their genitals off and get reassignment surgery medication because I want to pay tax, right? I'm not interested in that. I have a duty and obligation to myself first and foremost, and whatever extends off of me locally in my immediate region, right? My friends, my family, and then to the community, right? To not cause loss, injury, and harm, and to try to be a benefit if possible. So that's going to exist no matter what goes on some level. I'm not advocating for the abandonment of obligations, quite the opposite.
Right. And for that society to happen where we don't harm one another, we've actually got to pay attention and take a look at the choices we're making. Who's offering this choice? Is this choice my choice, or is this choice some asshole gave me because it's going to profit someone else? Right?
That's pretty simple, I would think.
Well, it's amazing. People make the same choice just because that's what mom made. Mom made that choice when I was a kid, so I keep buying the same thing and eating the same thing, and it's a choice. But people don't think about their choices. They think about their schedule, they think about their bills, they think about everything except what they're doing, it seems. Because there's a quote from Henry Ford, right? Back in the early 1900s, if the average people understood this banking system, there would be riots and revolutions in the streets by tomorrow. Nothing's changed. It's just gotten more corrupted. Right? This Federal Reserve and all these groups and organizations, they're literally conspiring and working against the welfare and longevity of humanity.
And see, this is what's fascinating to me too, is folks like Ben Thorpe claim to be Christians and Catholics and then are for statism.
I know.
Right? Which is like, do you remember a time when none of this crap existed and the way that you paid a tax was voluntarily to your church? They used to call it a tithe. That's in your Bible for all you thumpers. So I highly doubt that, folks under God who are living supernaturally would be sitting around advocating for. Like if we look at the Amish people, they're a great example of people who actually live what the fuck they speak instead of just bullshit online, right? And sort of crisis act, right? So they're not a part of any of that as much as possible for a reason, because they don't believe in funding Babylon and all the vacationing island goer class who are in the files for some odd reason. So,
yeah,
I like that you brought the Amish up, and there's a few other people groups out there who actually do practice what they preach, and they catch a lot of flack for it, and they try to stay out of the system, you know. And yeah, I got to give them a lot of kudos, man, and it's tough.
But see, as he's saying, I don't want obligations, he's skirting his obligations. This is what's so fascinatingly ironic about this projection, because you want all of us to supposedly be forced into, because you don't even understand legal and lawful, you think we're all forced to pay tax, that we should all opt into giving away our value to go toward things we don't want to be a part of, right? And we're not creating. So that's the absence of obligations. I don't like you want to create an obligation and then make me obliged to be a part of that, right? So I have an obligation to responsibility and accountability to say, no, I don't want to fund wars in Ukraine and in Iran and all the other crap the United States corporation is a part of, right? If I don't say that, then I'm neglecting my obligations to my country and what's true and what's right. See, you want a society of neglected obligations where you don't have to opt out, right? And really, you know, put your ass on the line to do what's true and what's right and resist unlawful orders.
So here's
you don't want to do that.
Here's a question for you, Paul. And I'm really happy that you're up here, because, you know, I do want to have this conversation with you. When it comes to the minimal participation, because you know, it's like you said with the Amish and some of these other people groups also, you know, they do. It's very, very minimal. It's extremely minimal. They know that they live in a country where all of these things exist. So what would be that, like, and I know this might be different for each one of us even, what would be that minimalist participation? Like, because I knew even the dollar itself is participation.
I think it would be contracting with each and every organization like we probably did at one point, right? I wasn't there, so I can't speak firsthand, but I'll give you an example. If you know, I live out sort of in the middle of the desert here, kind of in the middle of nowhere, about 45 minutes from town or city, but there's a volunteer fire station right there, right? So if I want somebody to come along or be watching out for potential fires out here and put out fires if I'm not around, or if I am around, then I need to kick in something to the local fire station, right? That's just proper form, right? If not, when my shit catches on fire and there's nobody there to put it out, I got nobody to blame because I didn't want to kick in to the local fire station, right? If they were busy or they didn't have enough resources. So, and again, there's communities out here that still function like that, where they essentially call them co-ops or POAs. Everybody kicks in $5 or $10 a month, and by the end of it, you got enough to get a road redone, right? Or you got enough to build a well, like whatever the example is. So that stuff already goes on, man. There's already voluntary sort of efforts to cooperate to get the things that we all need, right? Or even want.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, I've always stated the same, to start low level as possible, and then you can move up from there. Once you get your own house in order, then you can move on to helping build in other areas, and you have to have your own house in order. So yeah, I like that. That's very good.
Jack, do you think that you can life coach Kim into being a more likable person?
Kim?
Before the storm?
Kim.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. He's got a big chip on his shoulder towards me.
I don't think anybody around here is winning any likability awards anytime soon.
We do.
Everybody except for maybe Bad Apple Media has likability points on Kim.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey,
you're just seething to fucking run your mouth, aren't you, Justy? You came up here just to run your mouth.
That's kind of foolish.
You came up here just to run his mouth. He's been sitting there chawing on the bit.
You think it's all about you, huh?
On the bit, weren't you, Dusty?
Hey, Your audio
I
sucks.
want to participate.
Praise
I
God.
Your
want to
audio
participate
sucks.
in your show.
All right, we'll fix
Yeah,
your
I know
audio.
it sucks, doesn't it?
You can also fix your attitude too, dude.
You can suck my dick.
You get the fuck out.
That's not winning at all.
There is nobody in the panelverse easier to bait than Bad Apple Media.
It's fascinating. He's very triggerable.
And I can say this right now, and it won't matter next time.
What do you mean?
But that's why I got to call Jack in. Jack, you've known Dusty for almost 5 years. You disagree that sometimes he comes up to run his mouth?
No, of course he does.
Okay. You sounded kind of oblivious to that.
No, I guess
What am I doing right now?
I was being a little bit of a dick towards him, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the only dick you really have. But if I could just totally turn Paul off of Christianity in general for a second, there's actually not as much biblical to the tithing thing as much as like Paul and Peter just wrote to, despite how evil Nero is, you just submit and you pay Caesar what's his, because we're shooting for that eternity thing. It's actually in the video that Jack wouldn't play about Jack. Back when Grace Stewart sent him to the dump. Volunteer work.
My issue with that would be, who the hell are Paul and Peter exactly, and when did we go from Jesus is my daddy to Paul and Peter are my uncles? I mean,
in the books they wrote, they like in that video I made, it's where like after Jack said, if people would listen to me and Pac, there'd be riots in the streets, and then I cut it into this sermon where this guy's like, Christians don't riot, we don't overthrow the government, we are not that because of what
again, Christian isn't a monolithic thing. Any religion that you take or any spiritual practice, there's going to be 1,000 different ways it's practiced, and some of the more noteworthy, no offense, Tom, I'm going to look at the Amish folks as more of a good example day to day of a Christian individual or community, as opposed to you and Snafu and others who claim that online, right? So they live on the land, they live close to God, they live supernaturally, they live by tradition, they work daily in order to eat, right? They provide their community with the fruits of their labor. They're self-sufficient, self-sustainable. They're inspired. They're inspiring. They're motivated people. They're not completely.
Just like your issue with me occasionally having some Mickey D's, none of that is.
I don't think Amish people eat McDonald's, Tom, and that's another good point you just indirectly made.
The point you're not letting me finish is none of what you're saying is what it is to be a Christian. You can corporate beta male and Christian.
I don't think that you get to make that determination on what a Christian practice is completely objectively. You have yours and other people have theirs, and then we all get to make a determination on what makes more sense or not. Does it make sense that a Christian who purports to be godly with a godly vessel would put McDonald's into their body regularly? No, it does not. It does not make sense to me.
Can I reply?
It does make sense. Yeah. When I'm done, just kind of making a point, I guess. This should be self-evident. It does make sense to me that a guy would get up every day at 7 a.m. and go work the field and produce clean, pure vegetables and fruits, right? And even potentially partake in meat. I mean, I won't make that argument. You know where I kind of stand on that. At least to an extent, right? You can kind of have the animals and work with them, but I'm not really big on genociding them intergenerationally, right? And keeping them in cages. But it does make to me a little bit more sense that person to me would be a little bit more Christian in quotes if we were doing the scales thing, which I don't know why everything becomes a competition, but I'm definitely going to go with the Amish community before I go with the Illuminati community.
Okay.
Whoever that is.
What you just did was lay out what your idea of a Christian is. And when I say my side, it's not my idea. I'm speaking off biblically.
Tom, in order to speak biblically, you have to interpret the Bible, and I don't trust your interpretation, so there's really no point in looping this, right?
The Bible is not as wide range for interpretation as YouTube poses it to be. And the things that are up for interpretation aren't very much on the streamline thing.
There
It's
are
like
literally hundreds and thousands of interpretations of the Bible. You're doing it again. You're way oversimplifying this perspective and making yours the only one that's right. So,
no, you're making it
if
mine.
the Bible was not so interpretable, it wouldn't be an argument ongoing in debate for 2,000 years. Tom.
Right, we have to narrow down those arguments, but this idea that like Christians don't fast food, Christians would only Amish, that's not what it is.
Great.
According to you, thank you.
No, according to the scripture.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Christians also get 10. Christians also get 10 shots for safety in between going to McDonald's and voting for a master.
Paul, how long do you think you would last in an Amish community?
I probably not long, I guess, if that's what you're going for, right? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and
it's a
claim to
community,
be-
right? And you have to follow a lot more rules in addition to the laws of the land that we all have to follow.
Again, I'm also not claiming to be a Christian. That's Tom. I'm just
You're
pointing
saying
out that
you admire the Amish, but you don't live your life like the Amish do. Nor do I. Nor do I think people should.
Right, but I've been moving in that direction, and again, I'm not interested in competing with you over it. So,
just wondering.
Right. So,
I was kind of Amish in the sense I tried to live Rumspringa for like years.
You just did the Rumspringa part.
Yeah, just for like decades.
Jack, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you before when I was saying the thing about the content, because I was trying to say, like, I really do think you have a great talent for mentoring young men, as I think Paul does too. So I was just saying, maybe that's like a vocation that'll, in a way, blossom into what you're looking to do, because I do think there's an argument you can make that by doing little things, you make, that kind of idea that you make a little pebble in the pond will eventually do,
It grows.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ben.
Sure. Dusty, what's up?
What's up, Ben? I'm just fighting with douchebags in the chat.
Huh?
I was about to say, go ahead, you take it.
Well, I was going to welcome Scott, go ahead, Dusty.
Hey, fuck you. No, I'm
Kim
sorry.
was mad because he missed the irony, and all I was going to say to him is what I just said in the chat. Money and women come and go, but stupidity is forever, Kim. If you miss the irony earlier, you'll never be able to get it.
Yeah.
Hey, Lalo made it back from CPAC, and Donald Trump actually didn't even show. He didn't even show up.
Heard. Man. How did you speak to Lalo? How was it?
I'd love to hear from him. He texts me, but he's very hard to communicate with because he's always trying to get a W on me or something.
I get you. I saw him in the chat earlier, and
did he meet anybody? Did he meet anybody interesting?
I don't know. I mean, I've encouraged him to come to the panel, but he prefers to just have like little texts.
Yeah, he's trying to get that W.
Hey, Ben, I want to ask you something because you're a part of this question and idea I had, and it's related to what you offered. Thank you for the encouragement. Me and Paul, right, working with others. You see some value there. Thank you.
Definitely, yeah.
Now the other side, though, I have. What's the best way to say it? Well, there's been suggestions offered to you that were not asked for. And you were very polite. Well, somewhat polite, but you refused the suggestions.
What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
I can't remember specifically what it was, but I remember at least one interchange with Paul.
That's the thing that you always do this.
What?
Yeah.
Paul had offered to work with us, yeah. But I think he feels like we didn't like respond quickly or effusively enough?
No, I'm sorry, different direction. It had to do with the interactions on the panel, on the live stream. The point is,
you need to time stamp this stuff.
The question I've been asking and really wondering, if you can see someone's potential, right? And you can see that they've got better available to them, what is the best way to approach them without offending them?
Oh, do you mean to encourage? You're saying where you see someone's potential, that they're not reaching.
Yep, and they're not seeing it.
Who are you talking about? Are you talking about?
I think it's all the
about all of you.
I mean, it all depends on the person, the situation, whatever.
Damn, Jack's fucking going hard in the paint. Jesus, all of us, Jack.
It
I'd say
applies
he's
to all of
doing blood in the paint. Like, you'd have to individually say your potential is in this direction and your potential is in this direction.
Shut up, Tom.
I think if you could tell someone something specific that they're like, a lot of times I'll come on panels and you notice on YouTube that it tends to be like the individual creator is really the main thing. And sometimes see someone, I'll be like, you're a producer type or you're a moderator type. Like I've said to Dusty, you're a moderator type because you're funny. You can balance stuff around, you know what I mean? But it's hard to get out of this idea, like I run my channel and I do my thing, or, to collaborate, especially network with others, which is very hard to do with people who probably are here because they don't have terrific social skills.
There's a lot of that, Ben. Yeah. But here, another example might be, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but our friend Tommy.
Yeah.
Right? I know that maybe I could probably help him with a few ideas, but he's not open to it.
Specifically.
I've always said Tommy is kind of like a artistic type of person. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's more like a Sigma. He comes at it. So as a main character, he kind of can sometimes be confusing, but I'd love to see Tommy network with other people. He's got a great personality, funny, but I think he gets in a loop with you. Just coming up for Jack, Like I can name 10 different places where he should, but people are comfortable. It depends what you're doing.
I think this is where me and Jack loop is. He keeps saying I'd be such a good addition to his team, and he is oblivious to the obvious disagreements that I'm not going to budge on because practicing faith and all that.
No,
I mean, everything with you comes with a pound of flesh. Like, you want him to buy your land in order to merge.
That's
pretty much.
That's good. I like that.
But Tommy, you might have a gift, like with the religious stuff, to talk to atheists or something like that, because you're not a bullshitter like a lot of Christians.
Right. I don't mind having conversations. I don't get why I'm not saying Jack has to conform to what I say. I don't get why he doesn't see the obvious unalignment in it.
I'm not sure what you mean.
That's my point. But the freak, my land is way more than $500. I told Jack for me to stick around for the merge game, I needed $500. I'm not begging. I'll handle it myself, but at the cost of me being around to merge.
But yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't want you to get like completely lowballed on a piece of
Remember what I
land.
told you, Tom? It doesn't make any sense because you've been here every day since, and he hasn't given you $1. So
I haven't been, and I haven't done merge stuff. Do you see how it's different?
Oh, so you're specifically saying if we want more merge, like you gave us a preview earlier today, then that's going to cost.
I haven't given you a preview because if I do merge, it will literally be filter face, full on bit stuff. I don't have.
Now let me encourage this, right? Let me ask you a question. Actually, is it possible you've outsmarted yourself because not merging is going to cost you more than it's going to cost us to have you merge? Does that make sense?
I don't know what that means.
It means that you desperately need more love in your life, Tom.
That's not true. That's not
you
true.
Run from it.
Let me give you an example.
Even right
Let me
now.
give you an example of why I'm not a beggar, all right? You paid me $25 because I reposted some Talcott Food Collection stuff. Not everything on my channel, something on my channel is somebody else's that they, oh, I like this, so I'm going to contribute. I put in work to this, especially the Gone channel. So I'm not a fucking e-beggar. I've taught myself how to video edit and do the things and have bits and plots and fiction and my own IRL stuff. But I've had a catastrophic event in my life I don't dare share around you narcissists. And so I either got to go handle it or Jack's got to say, how can I support?
Right, but Tom, that's not how that works. You can't call it a community, then also say you want money from the community, but don't want to trust the community and share with the community, but get the benefits of the community, non-community, right? That's not how that works.
I don't see how you're interpreting it as that.
Well, I have no choice because you're being cryptic. You're not being
Jack,
direct.
I'm gonna head out. It's been great. It's been really good, brother. Paul, doing great. Dusty, good to see you. Everybody else on the panel, good to see you guys. Have a
Great.
good time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rick. Blessings to you, my friend. Where do we go? Actually, I'm feeling.
I don't have
a little push with the merge, Jack. It's obvious. Okay, he needs to really, and it's gonna happen. I can feel it. He's just even him entertaining a merge for payment. This is like pimping and hoeing, right? As soon as I know that you're entertaining payment for the action, now I know that you're open to the action, right? Now we just got to continue with the love till he does it for free, right? We got to wear him down, like I do the women in my life, right? They're like, "Yeah, I'll fuck you for 500," and I go, "All right, I got a foot in the door. Give me 6 months. I'm gonna wear you down. You're gonna wind up having sex with me for one night at Sizzler, right?" Yeah, little dino nuggets.
Jack, in the comment that Lala Blue just said, back up on the screen.
Awful connection.
Okay, shut up. Guys, I don't have a microphone. I have wizard mic. If you want to be pompous enough to make noise on my turn to talk, you're not going to be able to hear me.
No, it's no matter what, Tom. It's again, you're qualifying. You're not even hearing yourself. This is ironic, but you're speaking about the condition of the audio without hearing yourself.
It's been happening for months. If I plug in a mic, it goes away. But Paul, just show me once you can understand English.
Well, Tom, I would suspect that if it was me, because oddly enough, at one point it was, I would figure out a way to get workable audio.
Can I make a suggestion to you
I'd
guys?
maybe take 30 minutes off the Chase Jack clock, and I'd go take that 30 minutes to figure out my audio, right?
Can I make a suggestion to you guys? Almost all of you guys, and I'm not saying this to be negative, have wrestled with substance abuse problems. Is that right?
I only did that once.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you for noticing.
And all of you have emerged clearly out of those problems, and you have the wisdom of that experience. Plus, you guys get along really well with each other in a way that guys get along with guys. You know, it's a little bit rough, but it's, you know what I mean? It's masculine.
Yeah.
I would say most spaces that are like substance abuse recovery spaces are way softer. And it turns a lot of guys off. You know, a lot of guys are like, I'm not going to those meetings because it feels kind of, I don't know, what's the word? I mean, you guys know it better than I do. That culture can be a little feminine, like we're all victims or something, and not masculine enough. You know what I mean?
Daryl, this is toxic recovery.
I mean, you
I
know,
feel like this is
Fight
substance abuse replacement therapy.
The joke, like the Fight Club, is that it's like, how are my name is whatever. Everyone's supporting each other and crying and talking about how they. Yeah, exactly right. But you guys are harder than that. But you're still like sympathetic. And I wonder if there would be a lot of people. Grace and I have been doing these late night streams. This young man named Tyler, really nice kid, but he's obviously drinking every day into the wee hours of the morning. And I don't know what to say to him. You know what I mean? But like a group of guys like you guys could maybe he trust you more because he's like a. he's like an ordinary guy. I can see how he's like, I'm not going to the meetings, but like you guys could be kind of an on ramp to things like that. I would see that as like a more of a concrete thing that you guys could do. Sometimes you think you're supposed to be doing something else, and then you look and right under your nose, like it's all being laid out for you. And you know what I mean? Maybe what you're looking for is right there, actually, in some ways. And I'm not saying that means you can't make other plans as well. But that's what I see with you guys. I don't share that experience, so I can't really. But there's so many people online with substance abuse. I mean, half of our chat is like doing drugs.
Is he the one that said he did meth 13 times? Because that's when I was going to come up on.
I'm talking about.
I was going to say, did meth 13 times. I guess I'm here for. I missed the pregame.
So
13 times in one day, maybe.
Yeah, like how does he count? It's like there's a hit, there's once. I'm like, I've done meth just all day in general before. It's like
a lifestyle drug. You don't really divide your sessions up into,
That's when I felt like he might have been a setup, like he was a mark coming up here on the thing.
But I mean, also being on the internet, it's relatively easy for someone to pop on and just get a taste and then pop off. It's not like going to the meeting and know all that stuff, like signing up and all that.
And actually, this is in line with a couple of suggestions I had. Landry had suggested maybe having me focus on offering mediation for parties that might have disagreements and they're willing.
You're too biased. You're too biased, and you don't have that immediate awareness.
Maybe that's only with you.
No, I've watched you do it with me unrelated, just watching from the shadows. You just get impatient.
Yeah, like sometimes give that up because I don't think I've ever seen a therapeutic environment where there's a guy hanging over your shoulder talking about how horrible you are at everything.
Right.
So, I mean, we're most likely never going to get there because of our guests, our regular guests every day, right? Well, that's your word. I'm in a merge state, so I'm using your word.
Thank you.
Our guests make it very difficult to create the atmosphere where we can do anything therapeutic, right? Like many times I wanted to rub my knees here, and I can't because I don't feel safe.
He's going to loop it. I've watched you mediate people, Jack, and I don't know whether it's because it's not on you or what. You just lose your patience in general.
He's one of the guests, by the way. If there's any new people, he's a guest.
Yeah.
Code word guest.
Awful audio, terrible attitude, right?
Bitterness, resentment, dogmatic projections. Yeah, we got it all here.
Oh, God.
Jack, call your fucking daddy. You don't even understand what's going on.
You keep saying I'm his daddy, but you keep getting caught everywhere you go using all my words and lingo. Like you're doing an impression of me.
You're just a fucking loop, Paul.
A lot of you guys are like when you date a chick and she starts acting like you after 6 months, right? That's a lot of you guys. And then you go into the bitterness and resentment mode while still using my words and phrases, which is just always weird. The weird thing to experience.
Panel verse jargon. We all say the panel verse words.
There is no panel verse jargon. Again, you're delusional. You're using all the words that I've coined, whether you want to accept it or not.
You coin cupcaking, you cup brown panties. I'm not just trying to sell my land to you. My land is for sale. But in your mind, it's just you.
What the fuck is going on here?
You gotta stop yelling, please.
Well,
Tom, just sink into your love. I'm available for it. Just be available for it. You love me. You wouldn't use all my phrases and words if you didn't have already merged with me on some level.
Breathe.
Just willingly breathe, right? Oh, he runs from the love. That was good, Jack. It was like a Kegels kind of thing, right? Like, just breathe, Tom, receive the love, don't fight it.
Dude, that's actually wisdom. I've had to do that for myself a number of times.
He's very tight, Jack. He's very wound up and tight.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
He's dealing with a lot of uptightedness in his mind and being.
Tom, can you get back here? Can you please come back here and really loosen up and be open to receive?
Guys, that's the key, though, actually. Swear. Training your nervous system to relax, to be at peace, even if Jack and Paul are in front of you, right? Being able to, we're the test. I thought Tommy was the test. We're the test, Paul.
I think it's a test for a test about a test.
That's kind of what life is.
If you can't find peace in chaos, you can't find peace.
I learned that. I did. And fun. Not just peace, but fun in chaos, too. That's important to have. Paul?
But see, what about the other side of that, where you always have to create or find chaos when there's peace, right? Because we have a lot of that going on here. Folks are very uncomfortable with this idea of peace. They're more comfortable.
Can also
with
be
chaos.
pretty boring.
We are certain principles of the yin yang, aren't we?
It requires self-control to maintain the peace, because otherwise, you're right, that devilish outlook we'll want to fuck it all up, right? Especially
I'm feeling inspired. Let me give Kim before the storm a little bit of peace from my peaceful heart to yours, Kim.
Thank you, Taylor, for sharing that. There's progress happening here, Jack. You were right. Something bigger is going on here. And I thought it was just mental and emotional illness, and it kind of is. But there are breakthroughs happening.
There are. That's just it. There's got to be mental and emotional illnesses for there to be breakthroughs. So I think we're going to wake up one day and it's going to be a miracle here and a miracle there. And here's recovery and here's transformation, right? Kind of an Oprah day.
Can I ask the question everybody's been wondering? Ben, are those Grace's glasses, or is your head?
I really was going to ask him that same question.
I found these in Chinatown in Boston.
You stole Grace's.
They look like they're made for little Chinese eyes.
I think they look okay.
I think
they're women's glasses.
I had real glasses, but I lost them and they got all scratched up. I only need glasses for reading.
Oh, good for you.
I want to get that laser surgery. You know, I got cataracts. Is that what all people have? Cataracts?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes.
I can't do the glasses thing. It's like wearing a leash, you know, when a dog doesn't want to wear a leash. Because I didn't have them for so long. I can't get used to them.
I get that.
And let me give credit to Red 40. He was the first one that I saw to ask the question about Ben's glasses. So Red 40, excellent question from you.
Thank you for that, Taylor.
There we go.
Even giving credit.
Yeah. Might be because he was called out, but
that's an obvious concession of a merge right there. I mean, giving Red 40 love.
I can just as easily deny what Red 40 said and move on just like that. So
right, in the past he would have lied, but now he's practicing. See, Jack, don't be negative. I'm gonna encourage you now, Jack. I don't often do this, but I'm gonna encourage you. Please don't demean the growth of our, as you put it, mentally and emotionally disturbed participants. It's happening. Okay, it's even shocking you, but it's happening. Yeah, you don't want him to regress, right? If you know how it works, Jack. If you get mischievous and feisty, he's going to take you up on that offer.
You're right.
There's no one like Taylor when it comes to being feisty and mischievous. We know that.
Yep. No reason at all.
Witchcraft narcs. Tommy's got a new part to his script now. That's good. Can we freshen up the scripts around here with the panel acting?
Tired of looping witchcraft narcs. Has nothing to do with my in real life walk through a poop storm. Jack excused his to Mitchell, but Mitchell was right. Jack is not authentic. Tom, it sounds like, Tom, you're going through a poop storm, and I'm sorry for that.
Jack went through trial of his peers, and I think he was found, authentic. So that's a false statement.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tom pointing out why Christianity had some hiccups at one point with the whole witch burning thing. That didn't go so well for obvious reasons, but we're reminded of these things regularly.
This is still where our society's at. I mean, it's kind of sad these days. Scott, we get that feedback through you.
What's that?
Is that feedback through you? Yes, it is.
What feedback?
How are we getting? You guys are hearing it too, right? It's not just me.
What are you
A little
hearing?
bit.
Yeah, Scott, your noise, man. Come on.
Fuck off. There's no noise here. Hey,
Tom is
listen,
now
I'll go-
taking umbrage with language in general. He's now, you got to follow this development down there, Jack. He's a one-man show, this guy.
I know.
No, the other one, using mouth noises to manipulate people's view of reality. That's literally communication and vocal expression is now witchcraft, right? Like manipulation doesn't have to be a negative thing, by the way.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes,
You can manipulate a paintbrush and pad. It doesn't make you a narcissist, right? Because you manipulate the tools to paint a picture.
absolutely. This is the thing too. With this, witchcraft is using words to manipulate people's view of reality. It's black magic. When you're falsely accusing and condemning someone, it's black magic you're putting out on there. And the idea of manipulating what you said, it's not all harmful. But man, when I admit to knowing that, yeah, I can manipulate people, holy shit. People freak out on that. You guys know you're manipulators, right?
What are you talking about?
You know you are. All of us. If we have any level of self-awareness, we know that we can manipulate people. Right? Thank you, Hank, for the contribution. Get good, Tommy, it says. Tell you what, we crossed that 3-hour mark. What are your thoughts and feelings?
We are
I think
blank.
everybody went numb, Jack.
Yeah.
Everybody's numb and tingling from the love.
I know. I'm going to assume it's because everyone's so comfortable.
Right.
Peace. We got peace. I was trying to get Lalo to come on because I got a beef with him, and you said you could
Oh,
address the
yeah.
conflict, but he won't come on because I don't know what his problem is.
He's a pussy.
He probably looks down on me, thinks this isn't a good enough place for him. Maybe
I
he's
think
got
that's
a
what he
better
tells
plan.
himself, but
Maybe he's got a better plan for resolve with you. Maybe on one of your streams and greater audience. Keep the drama in-house.
I tried to do Sarah the Raging Tomato, but she won't.
Oh, there
take
you
it
go.
Because
She didn't want it.
I was talking with that guy who was the wheelchair guy. Wasn't I talking about that in here?
Yeah, maybe.
And then that went to her stream, but
Oh, really?
and we worked things out.
Good.
Me and Scott. Yeah. He just. I think it was a misunderstanding. But I think he has what a lot of people have is trauma that they haven't like exactly made sense of, because in some ways he kind of feels like he did the wrong thing, in some ways he did the right thing. I think most of us would say like, well, you didn't follow the rules, but you did it for a good reason. So of course, like, who's gonna blame you? You know.
Isn't that scenario just generically, this society we've got everyone and the collective, there's all these rules, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's got rules and expectations and boundaries and whatever. Shit. Where was I going with it? I'm pointing out the obvious, but there is a solution for it.
There's something about Donald Trump sucks, right? I'm
You're
figuring
talking about
you're heading
Scott's
there.
situation where there's rules, but then there's intentions.
There's tension.
I was going to ask Paul something. Hey, Paul, you think if you would have had the keys to Jack's and OTWs about a year and a half or 2 years ago, you would have been able to handle all the pressure?
What pressure exactly? Am I not?
I don't know.
not-
Just the maturity, I guess it would take to keep the peanut gallery kind of contained.
I think that I've always possessed that. I've just decided to use it more, if that makes sense. Mostly for myself. At one point, I was under this, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with it completely, but I was under this notion that the more that I and others were acting out, the better off we would be as far as content goes, right? So that kind of lays the groundwork to give you permission, directly or indirectly, to just accept that and even promote that. And again, I'm not going to completely disagree with that notion either, right? Like, you could argue there is something to be said for an attention and publicity and how you get people there versus how you keep them there. But yeah, I don't know if I see it as pressure necessarily. If anything, I was more pressurized.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, it's interesting because maybe back then you were actually kind of fighting for, that right or whatever, but this time it just fell into your lap, and that's kind of the way God works.
Well, yeah, I think that was more of what you were seeing the bleed over of in this venue was me in that mode of, sort of, I guess, fight or flight, if you want to call it that, right? Sort of an adrenalized state where I'm like, I'm going to court regularly. I'm probably going to have to go to jail and stay at some point, and yeah, just feeling like there's no end to that in sight and that there's not enough people doing that and kind of the whole deal. That was, I think, way more of a pressurizing sort of
Going to court
perspective.
sucks, man. I'll tell you. I just got through 33 months, and in the end, I took it up the ass a little bit, but it's worth it. It's worth it sometimes.
Congratulations on the milestone.
Thank you. Yeah.
The change.
Yeah.
I bet it does feel good to have some closure.
Yeah, it really does. When you have a court date, I've found I never got used to it. It's like hangs over your head for the next month when you have a court date, whether it's civil or criminal. It's just like these people putting these court dates on you. They have no idea the burden it places on your psyche.
They have ideas.
Yeah,
I don't think they do because they talk to you for 5 minutes when
that.
you get there. They talk to you for 5 minutes. They don't listen to you, and then they go, "Okay, we'll do it in a month."
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a pressure cooker scheme, Ben. They want you to come in and be all flustered and just pay the money. That's all they're doing. It's revenue collection 101.
I admire it to some extent because they make it so painful that they're like, just work it out. You know what I mean?
Collections.
Like that's
right,
their compromise, work it out.
But that's point of the pressurization, right? Is like when you decide to do this, knowing you're going to get arrested and then have to go to court with no lawyer and then stand on something or face years in jail, right? That's a different sort of game.
Yeah. I had a criminal situation too, and after 12 days in whatever you call it, jail, I know what they were doing. They're torturing you so that you come in docile and you go, okay, whatever you say, I'm not going back there. So,
I mean, in a way, they're basically, and I'm not saying that I promote it, but I see spiritually what it is, right? If you want to call it the devil's going to ask you, who and what do you serve? In a certain way, right? And it's going to say, go sit in the box, and we're going to get up out of you what you serve by the end of the week, right? It's a rare individual who, especially if they're guilty in their heart and already convicted and know they did wrong, right, or feel they did wrong, who's going to sit that out and then show up to court and stand on some. I think that's how you get results at court as well, because they evaluate you and they go, if you're not completely crazy and psychopathic, you must really believe you did no wrong, because 98% of people are not going to wait a month or 3 months, show up and say, hey, I did no wrong, and stand on that, right? Knowing what's hanging over them. That's
Sometimes
usually
it's
an
just
innocent
not worth
person.
it. Sometimes it's just not worth it. But you could say, like, I'm doing it for the greater good, but I don't know if you always are. Sometimes you can do more by moving on and, you know, maybe fighting it in a different way. I would have had to go back in jail because I took a walk with my daughter when they told me not to. I mean, if they can't figure that out, like, whatever.
Ben, there's a river that's followed by all this conflict that's going on. It's the cradle of civilization. It's called denial. What the fuck? Why would you even admit that you went on a walk?
Well, I
Or did you
did,
get caught?
but there's no. It shouldn't be illegal to go for a walk with your daughter when she asks
If you have a court order to stay away from her.
But now you have this weird instrument, and it doesn't. It's vague, and that's the whole point.
I'm seeing the brown.
I mean, there's no. She didn't ask for it. Why does the state have a right to give you this vague thing? It doesn't make any sense. But
the obvious issue with that kind of thinking is you're not going to correct the problem, and you're going to make the problem worse, right? Because if everybody just keeps submitting and going along to get along, it's kind of the bully on the playground philosophy, right?
Yeah, I know that's true in a certain sense, but like I ran a small business, and in some sense, I was trying to fight against the corporatization of like the restaurant industry. But like as one man doing it, sometimes it's just not worth it. Just cave, take your losses. You know,
I understand that.
A single person trying to fight like a huge system is very rarely. It's gonna steamroll you. You know what I mean?
And that's how the justice system's set up, and that's why most people plea rather than going to court and fighting it in a trial, as they'd rather just get it over with.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience though. That's the thing, right? Like, you know, I'd love to sit here and tell you. Right, but I think that the perspective, the intention that you hold going into this, along with your faith and what you put on record, is all very powerful together, right? So if you don't believe in yourself, you don't really believe in God, and you're not really in alignment with the truth, you know, and you don't put that on record, then yeah.
But your thing is I don't even think they're worth doing at all, because I just don't think anyone believes what you're saying is true. It's like a joke in the legal system. So why?
You're saying that, but I've had 6 cases in 5 years. I mean,
yeah, I just don't think like you would need a legal
paid
revolution.
Anything. I haven't signed anything. I haven't gone back to half of them. I didn't even show up. I put notice on record of you know, proper process and procedure. And so, I mean, again, that's what they're telling everyone to believe. They want everyone to believe that what I and others are talking about is a joke and can't have any power, right? That's the deception. That's the do.
I think they're right in your case.
If that were true, I wouldn't be here talking, and I wouldn't have a list of dozens of people who've worked with me who've gotten similar, if not the same results, right? And they're not accredited. They are not certified. They didn't take any course. They just simply understand legal and lawful, proper process and procedure, and they point that out at court through a claims process.
I wouldn't do what you're doing, but like, you know, it's your life, but I wouldn't do it. I'd just drop it. It doesn't make any sense as a legal theory. But anyways, I want to say thank you, Jack, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, Ben. Appreciate you joining. I am feeling it's time to wrap up, honestly.
Hey, Jack.
Kim, you just showed up. Welcome to you.
I did. I thought we had made peace. I came up and gave you a bunch of credit a few weeks ago about how much you had endured things, and that I was trying not to argue with you. And then when bitch ass Flo came up, you just went right along with his little narrative. But that's not even what bugs me. What bugs me is that Flo is such a coward. He has to block me in your chat. And I never really cared about being a moderator, but I think you should take his away because he's a bitch ass little girl.
That's a possibility. Thank you.
And if he does want to come up and back up any of this shit, he likes to talk. Feel free, but he backs out of every bet. He has arms like a 14-year-old boy, and he's just a general fucking liar.
He's an interesting character. I won't deny that. I'm not sure I can agree with all of the perspectives, but
You're right, probably 12-year-old boy.
Hey, Cam.
Yeah. Yes, Pack.
There it is. See? See how good that feels? Can we find a place of love and peace with all the misdeeds?
I'm not hating on anyone here, but I went, he just likes to play those games in the chat and then time me out and then leave. And so it's just a bitch ass little game. And I felt like fronting him off for it. But, yeah, other than him, I don't have any problems with anyone up here.
How long ago did this beef start with you and him?
I think he's been jealous for a year or two.
Dang.
Could be. Here. I don't know if that does anything, but we'll get you figured out, Cam. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'm assuming he may have done that on his way out, right?
He did.
Yeah. So we'll deal with him again in the future.
And there's an open invitation for that little bitch. Whatever. Push-ups, get your ass slapped, whatever you want, little boy.
Ass slapping.
Well, I can't hit him with a closed fist, Paul. If I hit him with a closed fist, it'd be beating a woman.
Yeah, Cam is finding some of that prison love that he remembers from that time he was doing. We all know about that.
The funny thing is, there's less gay shit in prison than there is anywhere on these channels.
I believe that.
At least in California.
Gay again. That's what our movement is. Make panels gay again.
Gay meaning happy.
Right.
Yes.
Joyful.
Of course.
No, I think it's been, it's been nice. I wondered yesterday, I noticed you were streaming while Jack was, and I was curious if there was anything going on, but I guess you guys were just doing your own thing. It's good because it's actually been a pretty nice mix-up.
Yeah, I'm not doing any like competition with Jack or anything like that. I just, I'm going far and few at this point. When I go on, I go on. I did an amazing broadcast yesterday.
I watched part of it. It was actually I caught it.
I felt like
some of it. It was interesting. You had a couple
I actually
really good
revealed
combos.
for the first time ever the true story of Jesus.
I missed that blasphemous part.
Yeah, Jack, we should share that short here if you're willing. Maybe not today, maybe another day if you're not open to it. But it's a short video that I clipped and put up. There are many clippable moments. I was right in my element yesterday.
I did see. Yes. Might bring it out later. Yes.
Reach was doing everything she could to ruin it, but
Huh? Who's
nothing.
doing what? Okay.
I had nothing.
Anyone have a last call before we shut the bar down?
No, we're all just. Actually, I'm just gonna say, hey, no matter where you go, there you are, and peace out.
Much
Thank
love
you,
to you.
Scott.
Appreciate you.
So I timestamped that video in the back chat there, Jack. So you can check it out if you want. And that's really why I came up. So I'm gonna head out now, and thank you. See you later.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate you, my friend.
Do you need a one-on-one with Jack, Cam? Because I'm feeling like you might, unless he's too tired. He might have to life
With
death
Jack?
coach you on. Yeah, I feel like you could use it, man.
What's he gonna coach me on?
Well, I mean, and again, it's up to him. He seems a little bit tired.
Well, in general, even if we didn't get into it, what do you think would be some just like, where should we start?
With you, I don't know you well enough. Most people, especially online, I would suggest we start with relaxation practices of surrender. But you might not be as uptight as I'm imagining. Am I wrong?
Well, I would say if you look at my life, you would probably say I am pretty relaxed, but I'm real frustrated with the world.
Okay. All right. Then that would be where we'd start. Patterns of judgment.
Oh, I am. It's so interesting you say that, but just because I had a buddy that he was all about non-judgment, and he's kind of in a new age cult, not to compare, but I couldn't ever get past not judging things that I know to be objectively bad or wrong. And I'm not even trying to this is where I've relaxed and given up, is I really don't try to force my views or other people to live my way. Like I used to have that will in me to be like, you got to do it my way because I know the right way. I've given up that. Even if I knew the right way, which I admit I didn't always, even though I thought I did, ego. Like a lot of this stuff, I mean, I'm about your age, so I think we've, somewhat worked on a lot of similar things. If you live this long, you kind of have to, maybe at least, well, no, that's not true either, because I think that money and stuff causes a lot of distractions. And when you have family and things like that, you can't focus on yourself. So I've actually had pretty privileged, but it's by my own doing. Like I didn't have kids out of wedlock, or I didn't do things to impede my life, so I made it so I could focus on myself. And yeah, man, it just fuck, Jack. I feel like I thought things were gonna chill out when we got older, and yeah, nobody saw the technology coming, and I wasn't even tripping on it until 6 months ago. And now all of a sudden I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm ready to build a place and put up a Wi-Fi blocker. Oh, look at
You've
little
turned
bitch
into a
ass Flo
better
showed
old
up.
man.
Dusty came back for you.
It seemed I'm confused about how anybody here could be confused about what you could help Coach Kim on. He is unlikable, bitter old man who's wound up tight. He's disappointed in life because it didn't give him the things that he thinks he deserves.
Hey, Taylor.
Where do you get any of this, you fucking blatant lying loser?
Yeah. That was
What an
Jackie, and that wasn't
objection.
even me. But I have to agree, right? We have some commonalities here, gentlemen. Let's try to
Should
be
we
respectful.
go over things?
Let me back
Should
off
we
a little
go
bit.
over things, Flo?
Let me pose it as a
Should we
question.
talk
Hold
about
on.
our lives
one
and what
at
a
a
fucking
time.
tweaker loser you've been
One at a
compared to me?
time.
Please.
Let me repose. I'm backing off of it. Let me repose what I just said as a question. Did
Okay.
anybody else hear Kim say, I'm disappointed in life and I'm bitter now that I'm old and it's not what I thought it should be?
Is that the truth, you fucking little slimy bastard?
Is it
I'm asking the
wrong?
question. I'm asking the question.
See, now,
Yeah.
I want to refocus here because
mean-
this ties into what Kem was already talking about, which is how the mind is so quick to latch on to whatever is looked at and start writing and creating a narrative, right? This judgment, so to speak. So I think Taylor, you might be doing that right now a little bit.
I'm
And I
asking a
think that-
question. So what would your answer
You're
to the
making
question?
an accusation
I
like a
didn't hear
weird
that, but
psycho.
I wasn't completely engaged. I was just kind of sitting back and generally just being, right, kind of half in, half out. But I didn't hear him, nor does it seem characteristic of Kem for him to say he's old and bitter and isn't happy with how his life worked out. That doesn't sound like something that he would be saying.
All right, then maybe I misheard or maybe I'm projecting. Kim, what were you complaining
Misheard.
about?
Yeah,
What
projection.
what
Now
were
we're
you
on to
complaining-
something.
All right, let me back all the way up.
So
Kim,
let's
what were
talk
you just
about why.
complaining about?
Let's talk about
What
why
were
you're
you-
such a bitter
Hold on.
old loser
Kim,
when you're not
we're
even
trying to
old.
get this straight.
That's
We're
I
trying to
literally
get
have
the
10 years on you, and I look better than you.
We're trying to
You're
get
a
the
fucking
facts
washed
straight
up
here, Kim.
tweaker.
Hey,
What
Cam.
was
Wait.
Hey, Cam, that's not helpful, okay?
You.
Someone's going to have to be bigger than that and break this pattern of name calling. Okay?
Yep.
And I'm going to encourage both of you to take the opportunity to do that. It only takes one.
Please
I
and
love
thank
you, Kim.
I
Thank you,
mean, like a
Taylor.
true
See?
psycho, he can just go from mood to mood without any genuine feeling behind it.
Well,
So,
it's because I
touche.
genuinely
No,
don't
let's
feel
not
any.
presume. Let's not
Hold on, Paul.
presume. Taylor,
Paul, he's
no,
not
because I have
entirely
to
wrong
stop
there.
him.
He's not entirely wrong there. I genuinely don't care about him.
Okay.
I mean, but you've been known to suppress your feelings at times because you don't want to be vulnerable, right? You see that as an affront to your masculinity. So I don't know if I completely believe that. I think that there might be some care in there, even if it's buried deep.
It's jealousy.
Maybe
It's
there
not
is.
care.
Kim, the problem is that I don't want to be vulnerable about my care for you.
You don't have care. It's called
I've
jealousy.
always,
It's not called
you've
care.
always been one of my favorites, Kim.
See, you're just a liar. You're a jealous liar. It's okay. I'm used to it.
Why won't you let me love
It
you?
might be real. Yeah.
You think this psycho wants to actually care for me? He doesn't even care for his old lady. He disrespects his old lady, talking about.
Okay, but
I mean,
why
dude, this guy
can't
doesn't
we?
even know what
Again, you're
care
doing
is.
it again. Why can't we take the opportunity to care for ourselves and each other and just surrender whatever he's doing for why he's doing it? Right? If he's not calling you names, if he's not fighting with you, then that's his loss. If he can't get
Well,
in a genuine space
He
of
was
love and
doing
care,
all that
then
down
that's
in the
his
chat
loss.
before he blocked me, but yeah.
Well, you're unblocked now, and I think I apologized. If not, Kim, I'm sincerely and truly sorry for blocking you and
For
being
what?
petty and being.
See?
Let me finish my fucking apology, Kim.
Wow.
I don't remember what I was going to say now. It was going to be good, though.
For being petty, blocking
Yeah.
me. Sure, apology accepted.
Wonderful. See?
Good job,
Does
Jack.
that mean
and
it won't
Paul.
happen again, or does that just mean that we're just saying it though?
I mean,
No, see, let's not even go there. Your mind just did it again. Your mind just latched on to the future and what's already going to
fair
happen.
enough,
You've already
Pac, but
decided it's going to go bad.
this is
now.
a pattern of flow where he's done this every time I'm in his chat. I brought
But
up what a
allow it.
dumbass he is the other night, and I was very polite at first. Said, "Hey, you want me to come up and tell you, why she's not going to prevail on any of her claims?" And then he started wanting to bet. I said, "Fine, we'll take the bet." And then he got confused and didn't know how the legal process works. So I was like, "Whatever." And then by then I was blocked. And so
I want to encourage you to get past all the details and go within and look at the core of where you're expressing from in these moments.
Where do you think he's expressing from, Paul?
I think that he's feeling sort of unrecognized and unheard, right? And he's in sort of a defensive mode, right? Where he feels he has to clarify. Just let go, Kim. Just surrender. You don't have to clarify. You don't have to defend. You don't have to be embroiled with anybody.
Kim,
you don't
put
owe
the ball
anybody
down.
anything.
I can hear you ripping.
he's saying
that
I
thing.
don't have to win. I think that's what I'm hearing. I don't have to
Okay,
win.
if that's what you're hearing, that's not what I said. But if that's what you need to hear, then that applies, right?
True.
It doesn't matter.
Because I
There is
do
no winning
feel
here. Think about
heard,
it
but
like
I
this:
feel challenged. And
if
then
you're
it's like
screaming and yelling and driving yourself and others crazy and miserable, then are you really winning? Even if you come out on top, right?
I mean, where is that, bro? I live in peace all day. Like when I work, I have great customers. I've fucking started a business that has me working with people. Like, I mean, I'm actually enjoying things. So it's really only on here that I come and see. It's the humiliation ritual that I mentioned to you before. I feel like there is value in what could be done, but people bring up people that just want to cause drama. They're not really looking for resolution, and I get sucked into. I feel like I get sucked into that, and then I play the part.
You're finding all the reasons why it's bad and negative not going to work. You know that there's potentially value in humiliation, right? The Buddhists have practices where they willingly submit themselves to humiliation in order to temper their ego.
Wait a second. There's value in personal humiliation. There's not value in humiliating. Well, maybe there is.
I would encourage you to look at it again. I've engaged in these processes, willingly surrendering and being a part of my own humiliation in group events because it frees me up from the fear of having it happen in the future because I've already made it happen for myself, right? Now that's self-sabotage that can help you grow. Okay? See where I'm going with this?
Man.
You got to take your pride and ego out of this. There's an opportunity here. Do I have to go to Jack? Jack, tell these people what kind of opportunity we have here right now. Okay.
I know, and I feel, and I'm with, and I think even I'm with you on so many layers of it, but it's like, bro, it's so hard for me to look at someone like Ben Thorpe that talks about wanting to make fucking, porn with his daughter in AI and thinks it's a joke and that we should just accept him where he is and not have any conflict with that. I mean, is that what I'm hearing?
Again, what's the point of being in a conflicted state when ultimately you can't control the outcome, nor are you God, but claim to worship God? So if he's doing that and it is in fact wrong and evil, then God's going to have his way with Ben Thorpe.
So we shouldn't even point it out or we shouldn't even act like it's wrong in front of him.
You should
shouldn't even make him go to his own corner and do it by himself type thing until he
Nobody's
comes back
forcing
and realizes...
you to have sex with Ben Thorpe, Kem. Right. You're volunteering to have virtual sex with Ben Thorpe and then complaining about the result. Can you see how silly that is? Because he
also said he'd have sex with a 13-year-old girl if he was on an island with her the other day. You're cool with that?
Yourself and be thankful
I
and
think
grateful.
these people are out here humiliating us when they say this stuff.
Just
they
be
say it as a
thankful
way
and grateful.
to
That's not you. Is that you? Is that also you? Do you have some sexual proclivities that scare you? Like maybe we all do here. Is that maybe what's going on here?
Yeah, I love women. I'm 50, so even a 30-year-old seems young to me. But I've been with a lot of women in my life, and I'm glad that my penchant for them has waned in the last few years. But that being said, no, it makes me disgusted. Like, I've been around men that would just beat a dude's ass for saying that. And you can't touch people physically, so you should do something verbally or just
Kem,
not welcome them into a community.
Let me ask you this. If Ben Thorpe or anybody has these proclivities inside of them and they know how they're looked at by society and even themselves, do you really think that Ben Thorpe or whoever is not tortured by that on some level? What more suffering
I think they're
would
psychopaths. Honestly, Pac, I think they're psychopaths and they really get off on people letting them do it. I think it's almost like a tranny doing it in public. It's the same thing with Ben Thorpe.
No, I think it would make more sense.
He gets off on it.
I think you're using that as a reason to reflect psychopathy in your own way and not care, right? And not be empathetic.
When I see him on CT channel and guys lust after his daughter, he gets physically fucking joyous and he gets all weird watching dudes talk about his daughter like a whore and how they want to do shit to her, dude. It's fucking weird, bro. He doesn't defend her. He doesn't stand he brings his daughter into terrible situations and you're supposed to tell other men this isn't how you're supposed. It's not okay to treat your family like this. I mean,
the world is a disappointing place to us idealists.
Well, ideally, Kem, if it was genuine care, probably the best way would be to pull him aside privately and say, "Hey, what's going on? What can we do?"
Well, I've talked to him online enough to know that he's not worth talking to. He is a psychopath that I do believe enjoys the fact that that it gets brought up.
He's a character and he trolls, but I don't know. I see people kind of leaning into a lot of the show part, a lot of the content part, just to get attention.
I think that's a big part of it. I think part of it also might be a sort of revelation through humor as a coping mechanism, right? Where we kind of use this idea of it's a bit or it's performance to kind of reveal aspects of ourselves that maybe are less desirable or acceptable. And then kind of cope with that, right? Or simulate that. I think there's a bit of both of that going on, right? I would encourage you not to write anyone off completely as just being a psychopath in order to protect yourself from not caring for them and seeing them in a different way, right? Because I think that's partially what you're doing, right? You're almost dehumanizing these folks so that you don't have to care enough to treat them like human beings and understand them, right? Rather than just label them. And we got to be very careful with that.
What about the ones that actually are? I mean, I've been around a lot of people. I mean, I spent 8 years in fucking high security prison, bro, and survived it, unfortunately well, but I had to use a lot of psychology. I mean, no one's tough enough to just be tough in prison and survive. And so I recognize, in some people, bro, some people are lost. I mean, I've watched a guy's eyes change to black after killing someone. Like, there is something where someone lets themselves go and they're no longer human.
Right.
Right, but isn't that also kind of you if you start writing off Taylor
Oh,
and Ben and everybody as
I have
psychopathic?
dug in myself deeply whether, I mean, it's only the caring that I've noticed in myself that helped me. But no, I've been able to bring a psychopath out of myself. It's part of how I survived. But I don't have, I mean, I know I'm not. I mean, I
My
almost
point
thought I
is that
was
my point
on
is
some
if you
level just because of how I didn't get along in society. Go ahead.
my point is that we're kind of revealing as we talk, like as we talk it through, that you feel like you're mirroring what you had to do in prison, according to you, which is stay in a survival state all the time. And I'm just saying to you that could be detrimental. I would know firsthand that could be detrimental not only to your body but to your mind and spirit, right?
No, that's 100% right, and I agree with you. Man, this is what's frustrating, Pac, is I think it's like PTSD because I really do see the world as an external prison now. I
No, I
mean,
get
they
that.
make
I get
kids go to
that.
school with clear backpack. Yeah, you get it. Like we're
And I
literally
can
in
see
an
the
open
impulse
air
there.
prison.
I can see the impulse there because I know it well of what you're reacting to, right? And I think the more you become aware of it, the more control you'll get over it, right? Like just because other folks are doing dysfunctional shit doesn't mean they're a threat to you or to your family or culture or community, right? So it's almost like we have to remind ourselves of that. Like, okay, this person's just doing behavior that I don't align with. We could judge it or we could just say, hey, it's going to be what it's going to be and not get into a reactive fight or flight survival state, right? Because we're not in a prison.
Can I mention
We're not
something, Paul?
gangbanging and all that, right?
I was gonna say I don't know if Cam understands this one small aspect of human relationships that when we're around each other, there's this almost drive to connect emotionally, but that also takes some trust.
Yes, I surprisingly agree with what you just said, Duck.
But you put that word surprisingly in there so quickly and easily.
Well, because
right?
I usually don't
That's what I
understand
was
what you're
talking
saying,
about.
bro. I was a little nervous. That's all. I'm sorry. I spoke out. I shouldn't have said
Okay.
that.
No, it's cool, dude.
What if, I mean, because I won't deny the signs and the evidence of an open air prison, but can you also see the kingdom of heaven?
No, I mean, just to take, for example, my dogs, every day, just, I don't have kids, but I see God's beauty. And I mean, it's evident. And the animals around me. And I mean, yeah, there's an alpaca that likes me now around here for some reason. It's running up to the fence and shit. And it's like little shit like that. I absolutely enjoy it and bask in it. And, it's really just human interaction that takes, but also, I mean, to be fair, like I said, I've actually made friends with customers and, I spent Christmas with them. And so like, I am able to connect. I just I've been seeing too many fucked up people to feel like I have enough energy to connect with, random people, I guess I should say. I have to really like know that someone's not up to something shady before I even consider them. And, for most people online, that's not even an option. Like, I do think that online is a very dangerous place to try to make friends. And I mean, that played out in my real life. Like,
right. But Kim, this is just it. In the kingdom of heaven, it's not dangerous. It's real easy.
Sure, but I don't believe this is heaven.
Then then you won't experience heaven. You'll experience what you believe.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think you could have heaven internally on some level, but
do you think? Have you heard the interpretation, Kem, that heaven is just earth, and we, at least some small part of it, we have this choice to either be there or not?
Yeah, I actually really kind of almost believed that for a while. That like, the earth was a complete projection of our internal state, and I mean, maybe it is. Honestly, like it gets kind of deep, but that's kind of where I think a lot of technology plays into it. Is it's disrupted all of our internal states so that we do allow this stuff to happen around us. Like, I don't think our natural state, you know, creates a world like this. Like we technology is
Yeah, go into that.
100%.
Can you go into that? Can you go into your view of determinism?
Well, I don't. I mean, I believe there's free will, not determinism. So, but I do believe we are the creators of this world. You know, our hands build it, our imagination, you know, thinks of things to build. And so by capturing our imagination and by capturing our attention, those people that capture it are able to make us imagine the world the way they want it instead of the way we would if we did it on our own. That makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's cool. Yeah, that answers the question.
So that's part of like you know, just the heaven and the projection where I do get it, but I also kind of feel like we are just under a mass attack that's a juggernaut. It's bigger than, you know, even if we recognize it, it's too big.
That's see that is an interesting and a good point, because if we don't feel like we have that psychological safety, I understand how people will push off the things that they believe they should have been doing.
And if we know that we're safe, we know that God is with us, anything is possible. And what's the next step when 99% of the people believe in both government and religion? That's the big burden. That's the big question. How do we unite with people who believe differently?
Yeah, you see that shirt? Yeah.
Slavery, at least in the current design, that's for damn sure. So what's the next step? What I believe is honest. I believe the prophecy, the return of Christ, is the return of God's love, right?
Does he have a place for me, Jack? Jack, does God have a place for me too, man?
You're too good.
Will I be there?
Or are you here?
Am I? I ain't J Shish. I ain't J Shish. I ain't a J Shish.
You have to repent. I mean, if anyone that can't repent, that was the major spiritual intervention in my life.
Yeah, that's
till you. I mean, that was overwhelming when I finally was like, yeah, and you know, I'm done. I can't do this, and it was on such a level that, like, yeah. I mean,
it's got to be.
And I've had miracles happen. Go ahead. I mean, I was going to say I've had a couple other times besides, you know, basically having the veil removed from my eyes and seeing the world for what it really is and why it is. You know, like the same people been in charge forever, basically. Twice, man, I've hit my knees and been in a situation where there was nothing that could be done, and there was life on the line, and God did a miracle right in front of me. And it's just like, yeah, it's unexplainable, and I wish I could show it to people, but it's like, it just is what it is. But it's only, I mean, the thing is, and this is where I'll give it to you, man. I have ego. I'm not in that spot anymore. Even though I want to be, it's like that it's a complete submission. You really do just realize that second, like, fuck, you know, there's nothing coming right now.
Can you be quiet? Can you be quiet? Can you be quiet for the
I can
chat?
keep
Jack just brought
talking.
up. Can you be quiet for a second for the chat? Jack brought up. Thank you.
You cannot interrupt me, you little fucking autistic weasel. And I'll finish when I'm done. And if Jack wants to interrupt me, he can. But I don't think Jack just putting chats up is interrupting me.
Hey, Cam. I think
he's gonna go to now, Pack.
No,
I don't know,
Cam,
I can't see the screen.
I think that he's an autistic duck, not a weasel. I just want to get the animal correct.
He's a duck. Yeah.
Well, you can be a weasel and a duck around here.
All right.
Duck weasel.
If you bring up, I'm about to drop unless Kim needs any more attention. But I think that if
I know,
before I drop,
you want
if you bring
attention,
up
bitch?
Snafu
I thought we
so
made
that
up.
we can have him
Why don't you back some of these bets up you want to make then, you bitch?
Can you put Kim in the middle, please?
bitch.
Let's try
Little
to be
coward ass
respectful, guys.
toothpick
Big
arm.
group hug for Cranky
Tweaking
Kim. We're
ass.
sorry. We're sorry the
Missouri
world didn't turn
loser.
out the way that you wanted it to.
Bro,
Quite
give me
frankly,
love.
it
I
hasn't
love
turned out the
love.
way any of us wanted to. I mean,
Yeah, really. Your life is so great. Keep pretending there, Mr. fucking tweaker. None of us believe you. You're a fool.
this is why we need love. Okay.
Yeah. This is what the group hug is for, but I'm the only one trying to give you a hug. Jack's nodding off. Snafu
You're a
has no
fake
hug.
ass bitch, dude. If you were in front of me, you know I'd smack you like the bitch and make you go
I'm
wash my
so
underwear.
I know, Kim, you're an e-thug. You're too
I'm
old
not
for
an
this, Kim.
e-thug, bro.
You
I'm not
are
an
an
e-thug.
e-thug.
That
I've
doesn't
heard
sound
you say
very
you wanted to
loving.
fight Pac. I'll step in for him. Let's do it.
No, I'm not. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
You've
We're all
challenged
getting a
people
little
before.
old
You're
for
the
the
e-thug, bitch.
now, but you
I'm just
especially.
saying, meet me wherever you want to run your mouth.
All
So
right,
how
I'll
about
meet you in
assets?
Grandview.
You want to do assets?
Yeah, no, come meet me in Grandview, Missouri. We'll do a boxing match
Oh,
there.
is that okay? Come meet me in Grandview, Missouri.
What?
You want to
I
do
thought that's
Sarah's
what you
lawsuit?
wanted. Thought that's what you wanted. Okay, fine. Then don't meet me in Missouri. You can't make this guy happy. Tried to give you a hug. Tried to take you up on a bed offer. Tried to fight
Bitch,
you.
you ain't meeting
There's nothing that will
anybody.
make you happy, Kim.
Do you really
See,
want to
that's what I'm
fight? You
talking
want to
about,
do an
Jack. This man
e-fight?
needs to be coached out of his
Hey,
misery.
Mr. Flo, do you really want to do an e-fight? Do you really want to
Kim,
do an online fight?
he
Or
was
are you just
trying to
talking
make
shit
you happy.
again?
I'm pretty sure he was trying to make you happy, trying to appease you.
He's not trying to make me happy, Jack. Are you just trying to gaslight me or what?
No,
This dude's
he's
a lying
saying
ass
he
bitch.
offered to love you. He offered to fight you. He's trying to find a way to bond with you.
Right.
We're all
Right.
giving you attention now.
Okay, so this is the gaslighting narcissistic psycho group now.
Oh,
Okay,
here we
please give me
go.
more. Give me more. Please.
Or we found another good dude in this panel verse just crying out for attention. Started out with wanting Dusty's attention, but it
Bro,
brought
Jack, if I wanted attention, I'd go on my own channel. Like, are you
Why can't
kidding me?
Hey, Cam, actually, I'm busting your balls a little bit, right? But
I'm sorry,
really,
Jack. Am I to blame here? Because I did.
A
I
little
came
bit.
on.
A little bit.
I
Yes.
antagonized
yes,
him
you
quite.
did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So what I did is, as soon as I jumped on panel, I kind of sat down a little bit, and I thought to myself, this chem guy that's up here, probably not the most handsome, maybe not the most intelligent,
Wow.
and so I can.
Wow.
I thought I could be a positive influence
You're a
on
very
him.
astute
Hey, let's
gentleman,
not,
Duck.
no, that's not helpful. Okay,
There's got to be a
See,
reason why his best friend is an alpaca.
guys. Seriously, we need to learn
The dog,
healthy
not an alpaca,
communication,
loser.
healthy communication styles. Okay,
Like the
non-violent
Fortnite?
communication.
The
All right.
Fortnite.
Well,
alpacas?
Jack's been trying to wrap up for a minute. I'm going to drop Jack unless you think Kim needs any more.
You're a bitch.
Kim
And I
is
know I'm blocked
Kim,
whenever I go
big
around your
love
channel,
for
so
you.
just
For
know
you.
that.
Mr.
Keep
Flo
being
Throw
jealous.
love down
love
that
you,
way.
dude.
I love your
Thank you for
jealousy.
offering.
Much love.
Ask about. Oh, I should have brought it up. The reason this dude fucking talks so much shit is my ex ran to him after I broke up, so she's feeding him information, and she hasn't seen me in over a year, so she has no fucking idea if this dude thinks he has a fucking direct line to my life. He's such a loser. And this is what he does to people, right? He pries into their little private life and pretends like he's got info on them. He's such a bitch.
The optics are
Yeah, such a bitch.
Oh, you want to talk shit, Jack?
No, I'm just having fun. It is time to start wrapping up, though.
Wait, so your
Hey,
ex
I'm
is
sorry. I
talking-
interrupted.
Wait,
I
wait, wait.
interrupted.
Your ex is
I
talking to
disrupted. I
Dusty?
got cut off time. I cut
Wait,
off
wait,
time
is
from
the- wait,
Paul and
Kim-
Jack talking. So I'm gonna
No,
take
I'm
off,
kinda
guys. I
curious,
appreciate
Jack.
everything. I'll see you
Thank you,
guys
Doug.
later. Thanks, guys.
Oh
Bye.
my
I'm leaving.
God.
Thank you. Thank you
Blessings,
for being
Doug.
here.
Holy cows. Snafu, were you trying to say something there?
Yeah, did Kim say his ex is talking to Dusty?
In the past, I think, huh?
Oh.
I don't know if they still, but yeah, she fucking is a psycho that ran to him to talk shit as soon as we broke up. Which is part of my lesson not to fuck with people out of the fucking panelverse.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, that is great, but well, if she's running.
Fortunately, I didn't give her
She's
any
running,
information
man,
that
that's
matters.
different, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
she just
Holy
thinks she
shit.
knows a lot, but yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
bitch shit.
Is there anything that maybe? Is there anything that maybe you could have learned from it or have done better?
I learned a
than making
lot.
it
Are
all
you
about
kidding?
them?
Are you kidding? I learned a ton.
I'm saying you went right to how she's bad, Dusty's bad, everybody's bad, and you
Well,
learned
I said
how
he
not
acts like he
to.
has a direct line and wants to talk shit and make little snide comments. That's why he thinks he knows my finances, but I never even talked to her about how much I sold my business for or anything like that. So he just wants to fucking play games and talk shit. You know, you're living in a camper or whatever. It's just like, it gets old. It gets old when people are fucking disrespectful like
Well,
that.
that's why you got to stop fighting, right? You wind up swinging at shadows.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm fighting as much as I'm just disgusted with people. I mean, the people around me don't do this shit. That's
Is
part of
it
the lesson I
possible
learned.
maybe? Is it possible maybe you need a break from the panel verse or a lot of these areas and maybe practice some discipline, just kind of removing
Oh,
yourself?
really? Is it possible every single person here could take that advice? Gee, I don't know, Pac.
And do you notice how we're talking about you and
Bro,
your
I started a
experience?
business in the last year. I'm hardly even online. I fucking work all day.
Okay.
I'm a contractor. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Again, it's not a competition. You're not under attack. You're not on
Well, I'm
trial.
just saying, where have I been over the last year? I've hardly even been around. I'm on the
And
weekends. I pop
Tim's
in and shit.
defense, dude, if his crazy bitch ran to flow state, that's fucking nuts. Because she isn't part of our community. She never really, and he is in a sense. And
Oh, the community that lies about everybody
No,
who has a
I don't even
talent.
take his side.
Jack knows that community. The community of journalists who lie about everybody else.
I mean, to be fair,
on their
Snafu, it's not.
broadcast. They call
Dude,
them pedophiles. Yeah.
The
that
problem is
community.
she was in it before I even knew what it was. This is not a community or whatever, and I'm not outing anybody or whatever, dude. It's like she knew about people in this shit before I even found it. So, like, that's what I said. She can have it. You all can have it as far as,
I'm
like,
honestly waiting for
anyone that wants to do that shit, that I'm aware. Like, I just,
All right,
you know.
this is all at once now, Jack. It looks like this is what God does, right? You know, just as you're about
Did
to wrap
Brad
up.
Apple get that plane ticket?
Okay. Yeah. And then we have all of these guests now showing up who have needs and could benefit from life coaching.
Thank you for that, Dusty. Austin,
Hello.
how you doing? What's
Good.
going
How's it
on?
going?
Full talk shit, but he won't call me a
I'm just
liar.
watching you submit to another man. That's all I'm doing.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm just observing your submission to another man, a narcissistic.
Hey, Austin, do you see how ironic and silly it is that you're literally proud that you're dressed up in your colors there when the whole point of the military is to submit to other men who are narcissistic and corrupt? Again, that's you. And now you left the backstage area because you, many others, don't like accountability, right? So we're merged. We're working together. There's no hierarchy. There's no submission. There's no dominance. I'm not getting that. And Jack's saying he's not getting that. So.
He's definitely triggered by you, but we'll help him through it. Hey, Kim, seriously, appreciate you joining, but I'm ready to wrap up.
Thank you, Jack. It's been a pleasure.
Much love.
All right, I'm getting the hell out of here. Merge is still going strong. It's over 2 weeks. Eat your heart out, all you haters and projectors. Oh, ye of little faith, okay? Hashtag live without fear. Peace and blessings for everybody. And choose love, man. Why
That's
not?
it.
Feels good to feel good. I'm learning that.
Absolutely. Thank you sincerely, brother, to all who joined the panel, the chat. It's a long one. Make sure, if you haven't done the subscribe yet, make sure and do that so you catch the later ones in the future. Originally, in the beginning, we were talking about radical responsibility, right? And with responsibility come these ideas of accountability, authenticity. We talked about a lot of opportunities. And brothers and sisters, I feel today, Talcott Tuesday, another successful day in the books. I'm going to wrap it up here. Instead of continuing on, brothers and sisters, thank you again, sincerely, from me to you. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, walk with faith, and live without fear. Thank you again, and God bless us all. Peace.